what to wear today, you know. So that's what. So what should I do?
In case we didn't know it was you.
Okay, yeah. Well, my parents don't even believe I work in a hospital.
They want proof.
Yeah. I had to add the ID badge and sit next to a visual chart or something. So, my name's Afsar Ali, and I've had some ideas which I would like to implement into the health service. That's why I'm calling it the new health service rather than the NHS. Two things before the presentation, which I found brilliant that I picked up from Amanda from Align when she was teaching, because I think it would be great for all of you to know as well. And that was one we're delivering, interaction between audiences. If the audiences interact, if you can get your audiences to interact, then they will retain 85% of the information that you're delivering. If they don't interact, that's only 15%. The other thing that she mentioned when we do the presentation, the words, they only constitute to 7% of the information. That's minuscule, man. So it's actually the voice, the pitch, probably the accent, and then the body language. So is the voice pitch is about 38%, and the body language is actually 55% while you're chatting. So if you do see me do any body popping or moonwalking, that's just me delivering it. Right. So this is what I will be covering. I will talk about the debt within the NHS, the questionnaire that I handed out, and you've seen the answers there, the factors that were causing the debt, the solutions, and I won't have all the solutions for each and every factor, and then some personal solutions that I've come up with as well. So, some nice to know information before I start the talk. Anybody know who this is? Yeah. If you don't know, then I don't know what you're doing in the NHS. He's very sharp. Anirudh Bevin. Prior to Anirudh Bevin, he started the NHS. He's the father of the NHS. Started the NHS 5th of July 1948. Prior to that, people found it difficult to pay for examination, treatment. For some people, it was fatal as well. It mainly affected the women and children. That's why he affected mainly. So he worked really hard for this, and he had three pillars. The NHS should meet the needs of everyone, should be free from the point of entry, and it should actually be based on the clinical ability rather than the ability for someone to pay. And the service has been running great for 70 years, but there's been many changes, and this is what I feel at the moment, not that one. I feel it's taken for granted at the moment. I feel we're burning the money. It's not just the patients using the service. I even feel it's the staff within. It's the type of culture. It's almost like the analogy I can give is almost like the child who inherits his parents' £1 billion asset. They haven't earned it with their blood and sweat, so they burn it. They don't have that feel or sense of it. Rather than someone working hard for it, they will value it and preserve it. And what's happened, so it's been a very maintainable service for many years, but over the last 3 years, it's actually been unsustainable. We had a debt of £100 million 3 years ago. That soon became £700 million. Now, the year after, it's more than 24 times the amount. It's a ghost here.
You put it on timer.
Is it? Oh, okay. More than 24 times the amount, so it's £2.45 billion. That's the debt. The expense within the NHS is £140 billion. Now, I'm just throwing figures at you at the moment, £2.45 billion. But just to give you a sense of the magnitude of that debt, you can buy 40,000 houses in the UK with that amount of money. Just to give you a better sense, in Gibraltar, where the population is only 20,000 plus, each person can actually have 2 houses each with that amount of money. Now, what are we and the management doing about it within the NHS? We've got a bit of our Ostrich Syndrome, burying our head in the sand with that. So what did I decide to do? I thought, I'll find out the factors, but I thought it's a better idea to actually hand out questionnaires to patients and let them find out and let them tell me what the factors are. But we have a bit of a bad boy group within the NHS called the ethics group. And they kept on saying it's unethical to give it to patients, unethical. And they took a while. So what did I do? I went to my family and gave them the questionnaire. And they did it. So I couldn't get the ethical approval, but at least I got the ethnic approval. And I've got
some of those letters.
Yeah, and I've got a fairly large family as well. Dad never had a TV, so but that's fine. Now, I find out some weird and wonderful factors. Simon, what do you think some of the factors were? And there were
In terms of the debt?
in terms of the debt, yeah, the question, yeah, some of the debt factors, just come on.
Okay. We've got an increase in the population, a reliance on the NHS for people who don't really need those services.
Yeah,
We have some people from abroad who come and get our services and then don't pay for them.
yeah.
And just a general increase in the prices of things.
You missed Donald Trump in that one.
Oh, well, Donald Trump, yeah, of course.
That was one of the
We
weird
can blame him for everything.
That was one of the weird and wonderful ones. So these are almost all of the factors. There was one I actually missed out. But if I start with some of the popular ones that have been on TV, BBC News, Guardian newspaper, a Nigerian woman who came into UK and had quadruplets, and the bill ran up to £350,000, and then she went off. So that is overseas payment, and that people like who come from overseas have the treatment. That accumulates to £30 million. The other one is at the moment population and immigration, which is we have an influx of 500,000 people every single year, and that comes to 1 billion. How did I get to that figure? Because the government per capita allocates £2,000 for each and every one of us for the NHS if we fall in, and this is what's allocated. So that's £1 billion. Binge drinking's been on the Guardian newspaper as well. So 1 in every 20 patients that goes into the A&E, they're the binge drinkers, and that comes to £5.2 billion. Medicine. So when we go into the hospital, we need medicine. The doctor prescribes. We buy them from large companies. That's £15.5 billion. That's over 10%. Now, Pfizer was recently in the newspaper because they were fined £82 million for a very high profit. Now, I have a couple of businesses, and usually our percentage is 10 to 30%. But Gail, what do you think they had in terms of percentage? No, don't try.
Ask the audience.
Anybody, go on. Yeah, interaction.
70%, 80%?
2,600%.
Yeah.
2,600% was what they were charging. So they were fined £82 million for that. We have another one, care homes. So mom and dad, when they turn 60, okay, mom and dad go to the care home. So that's costing just a figure. But I'm not trying to scare anyone. But that's usually £700 per week per person to be looked after, and that comes up to £11 billion. DNA, that's the patients that don't attend. Yeah. I found out some figures from Department of Health, and they were telling me that it's 24 million people that don't attend the appointment. I had a text message from the hospital telling me if I don't attend my appointment, then it will cost the service £100. So with that applied, it's £2.4 billion. My sources are quite reliable because I got those from Department of Health, NHS Digital, European Union, and the Metro newspaper. So
Metro.
yeah. One of the largest factors is actually aging population. We are actually a victim of our own success.